We on?
Yep, we're connecting now.
All right. Welcome. This is Northwest Sports Talk 206. We were down here at the Waterland Arcade. So come on, check us out right here in downtown Des Moines. They're sponsoring us. I got Scott next to me. He is the Mariner guru at every game, knows all the ins and outs. So we are just here going to talk about some talk news. And I just want to start it off by really talking about the build-up or the excitement of the new season under Mike McDonald. And this is just my analogy. So I was just thinking about it and kind of watching some of the preseason games. And I see a similar style, offense and defensively, which you don't normally see. Usually you see ball control offense with a stiff defense. Or you'll see a wide open offense and your defense is kind of Vanderbilt break. But now what we see is two of the same almost on the same point. You have Mike McDonald's motion, moving around, downfield, taking shots. Thinking we're probably going to use DK how he should be used, opening things up, multiple running backs. Then you have a defense, Mike McDonald, blitzing, not sure who's in what position, just coming after pressure. And that's what makes me excited. Because now you got two styles, which are the same style, but different. But they're really getting after.
Yeah, what's really happening, at least in my view, is Mike McDonald is trying to take this team back to the 2013 season, where the team is all about get that ball. It does not matter.
Yeah.
Look at 2013.
Yeah.
He handled the ball both on offense and
Yeah.
consistent, and that's what Mike McDonald is bringing back.
Yes.
Yes, we've got a bunch of different key players, but overall, that's what he wants to do. He wants to pound the ball. And that's what the Seahawks need to do.
Yeah.
Pound the ball.
Exactly.
That's what we've been missing these last few seasons.
Exactly.
The ball.
Exactly. So let me ask you this. I was a D. Estrus fan. People were like, why? Like, why? Like, what did he do? Off the field troubles, whatever the case may be. Couldn't stay healthy. But I just felt like his skill set would have worked really well with Seattle. But the problem is, we signed somebody, a 6'6" product, and Jake Bobo. And who, whatever his 40 time was, the reason why he wasn't drafted, didn't have room for DS. And I was really sad to see him go because I thought that we might have been able to do something, but also not just Jake Bobo, Jackson Smith and Jake. So he had to go outside the door. What Seahawk left that you're like, good riddance? And what Seahawk came that you're like, I'm so glad we got it? Go ahead.
Russell Wilson. His entire career, I said that boy is not a quarterback. He is not a star.
Okay.
The only reason he is as good as he was, has the records he does, is because we built a team around him.
Right.
Look what happened in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have anybody.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to happen again. Watch.
Well, it kind of goes into what I've always thought, that every year so many players are drafted, and there's so many players that I said, you know what? If they were drafted in the right system, with the right supporting cast, the right style, would be okay. Just like what's his name for the place with the Raiders now, Derek. What's his name? His brother played for Houston.
You're the football guy.
Exactly. Anyway, drafted first overall, but I thought he was Carr. There we go, Carr. He was drafted first overall, and I thought he was good. And I thought he was good when he went over to the Giants and back to Eli. I thought he was good. But he had the worst line in football. Got hit every single play. Was gunshot. I mean, he had probably the most horrific offensive line ever. And so many players are ruined because they come in first pick overall, second pick overall, and they go to teams that aren't very good. So I was bringing that around to about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson needs certain things in place to get. Number one, he needs a great defense because he's going to do some weird stuff with the ball every now and then. So he needs a really good defense. He needs a good offense, and he needs a coordinator that's going to package his plays to be successful.
Well, he also needs to learn how to move. He got over fear and quit learning how to move.
That's a whole other conversation.
That is the conversation when it comes to Russell Wilson. He had a great career going. Everything was going for him. He got with Sierra and fell off.
Boy. Oh, boy. Oh,
We had
boy.
that conversation at work the other night.
Boy. So, moving on to the Seahawks game this week, or tomorrow, matter of fact, they play different again. Now, it's not as great as, when Russell Wilson was there, they got that great heroic win. But when we look at Bo Nix, a lot of people that thought that Seattle should have drafted him, I wasn't sure, I wasn't really clear on what I thought of Bo Nix when he had all the mock drafts. But it looked like he's doing okay for them. We're close to win by 6. What do you think's going to happen in that game?
I think we're going to be surprised.
Really?
I think that Mike McDonald knows what he's doing. I think the stats are going to be right. We're going to win 6, 7 points. I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either way.
Yeah.
But we are going to be surprised at Bo Nix.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that Denver made the right choice you got in taking him because he fits that system.
Okay.
Seattle, I don't think he would have fit us. That's just the way it is.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be a very defensive heavy game.
Okay.
Both sides of the ball are going to be defensive heavy. In order for us to truly win this game, I think that we are going to need to have those explosive plays, utilize DK,
Yeah.
utilize all of our receivers, and go deep. None of this 5-yard pass like the Patriots are being. Tight ends are good, but they're a backup. They're not meant to be the every pass guy.
And Noah Fant's a good one. I remember when we got drafted out of Iowa. I like Noah Fant.
Noah Fant is a good one,
Yeah.
but still, he is not the main pass guy. Tight ends are not meant to be passed to all the time.
Well, then you're not really considered a tight end. I guess this is modern day. You're a slot, whatever. You're a slot receiver with a tight end tag. Right. When it comes time for the contract to be up like Jimmy Graham, he wanted to be paid like a wide receiver.
Well, that's because you're utilizing like a wide receiver.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we got Seattle and Denver. Matter of fact, I need to pull up the games that we have going on this week. Now, I was watching the Kansas City game and Baltimore.
How about that ball?
Oh my!
How about that
Oh my!
whole session?
Oh my!
Leave that down.
Oh my!
Leave it down.
Oh my! So
Only because the toe touched first. Had the heel touched first, he would have been fine.
yeah.
But nobody lands on their heels.
Yeah. But since we're there, I was watching it and I was like, I'm tired of seeing Patrick Mahomes do his thing. How good are Kansas City? I mean, they're paying him $500 trillion. So I'm not sure what salary cap, they have, but they have all these no-name guys that come on. They got, and now next thing they look just as good as they've always been.
Well, that's because that's Patrick.
Yeah.
Look at his college career. He did the same thing. He just stand out for me. Yeah, I will give it to Patrick Mahomes. I cannot say Kansas City, but
He's a game changer.
he is a game changer. He runs, he'll move, he throws, and he's accurate.
Yeah.
He is definitely an all-time quarterback.
Yeah. I know we're kind of jumping around the board here. But the greatest thing to come online. I was watching. What do you think about the Huskies this year?
I
Now,
don't want to get me started on that.
I was watching because they're playing against Weber State, whatever that means. And I was watching them, but I was impressed. One thing I was impressed. It's hard to say when you get stiff competition and you can see how good you really are. But I see some of the same things with like Grubb's offense. Not the same, but as far as the movement, the motion, spreading you out. They had a lot of trick plays. Weren't really trick plays, but just a lot of different variables. It looked like they were kind of
A lot of unnatural formations.
There we go. They were going natural formation. And they looked,
chicken with the head cut off.
yeah. And they lost so much talent last year, so you're not really sure about all the talents coming in. So we're going to have to see. What are your thoughts, your first impression?
I'm not a Husky fan. I'm only here so I don't get fined. No, I just can't get behind us. I appreciate what they've done as a school, but I cannot get behind him in his scores. Can't do it.
Okay. Non-Husky fan, people.
No.
Non-Husky fan.
No, I'm not a Cougars fan or a Ducks fan either.
Now that's interesting because I am a Cougar fan. And people go like, that's so weird. It's hilarious. How are you a Husky fan and a Cougar fan?
Because they're both great schools. And schools.
It's just, you know, it's funny. As a kid, I remember my stepdad from a small town in Odessa, Texas, and he always liked the Cougars. So that's the first thing I saw when I was sitting down with my dad watching the Cougars. I really like the Cougars, and I was such of a fan of my dad's at that time. I was an Auburn fan because I thought Auburn was down the street. So the whole time, as a kid, I thought the Auburn Tigers were down the street. So with that being said, I liked the Cougars as a kid, and that never really changed. Then UW started having their success. You know, I guess you can consider me bandwagon fan. I don't know, but they started having success, and I started to watch it. You're only a bandwagon fan. Fall off when they fall off. Then I guess I am a bandwagon fan.
Okay then.
It's been settled.
And the whole Auburn situation, I'm right with you. I did not realize that Auburn was not in Washington until about 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
10 years ago.
Oh, wow, that's different. So
just because I wasn't really into college sport. Never really was, except for UNC baseball. That was my
baseball.
I've always been good.
Okay. So
that was like 9.
Okay, so this is the question for me. I'm a Mariners fan. I would say I'm a Mariners fan. Now, I don't necessarily fall off. I just sit back and wait for something to happen. Now, I'm so in love with the 90s fans. So in love with the home runs, King Griffey Jr., Hatzenbeck, Alex Rodriguez, Jay Buhner, Yadier Martinez. Oh, I was in love. Absolutely.
So was every other.
Absolutely. Well, I wasn't a fan of Mark McGwire and the guy from the White Sox. But
Frank Thomas?
No, the other one. No, the Cubs.
Tommy Sosa?
Tommy Sosa.
There we go. Fan of Sammy. Doesn't look like they came in the league as a twig and left the league at 215.
I think I just got tired of all the commercials and about the home run, which drove me crazy. They stayed on TV.
They did, but they also brought a lot of fans to the sport.
Yeah, they did.
Because it was the constant rivalry of who's going to hit the next home run.
Right. That's true.
You know, you kind of have that right now with Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge.
Right.
It's the same thing. One's American League, one's National League.
So what happened? Now, I was watching the Mariners here and there, you know, seeing your posts, seeing you at the game with your glasses on. Looked like they were winning during the time I saw your Facebook posts. And then I was like, I just kept hearing, I can't believe what's happening. How they fall so far? I thought this was supposed to be the year. I thought last year was supposed to be the year. What happened?
This year was supposed to be the year, and I think what really happened was something happened in the dugout where players no longer felt the camaraderie. I think that Scott and Dakota and numerous other members of the management all had different opinions on how the game should be played. All of a sudden, we started overutilizing pitchers. We started pulling pitchers at 65 pitches in the 5th. We pulled pitchers in the 8th inning who only had like 75, 80 pitches when we had the lead by 2-3 runs. And they hadn't done anything wrong. They're still massively controlling the game, but we're going. It made no sense. A lot of fans feel the same way. But I think the biggest problem we had was our hitting. We didn't have a hitting coach that was focused on giving hits or having solid at bats. You had a hitting coach that was focused on hitting home runs. Because if you notice, the last all of August, everybody was swinging for the fence. Every at bat, every single guy was swinging. Even Ryan Blitz, in my opinion, should be up. You can stay up here. You need more time up here to get acclimated to this type of competition. There's a big difference between AAA and go. The majors.
Yeah, right.
Even he, who doesn't hit a whole lot of home runs, was swinging for the fence. Ryan Bliss is a guy that should be bunting, even those slap shot singles, driving it down the line. From singles into doubles into triples. That's the kind of guy Ryan Bliss is. Polanco's the same way. Polanco's got power, but he's a speed demon. He's bunting, hitting singles, doubles, stretching them out. The more Edgar is getting these guys to have solid bats, attacking the count early. Don't wait till you've got 2 strikes before you start, solidifying how you're going to swing the bat.
Right.
Get in there and start doing it now.
Right.
First pitch, if it's a fastball right down the middle, why are you staring at it?
Right.
We were doing that a lot throughout the first half of the season. And now that Edgar's come in, like last night, we struck out 6 times. 6. Our average for the year is 11. So with Edgar here, and he's getting these guys to finally develop an attack strategy at the plate to stop swinging for the fence every pitch. Yes, we all like home runs. Yes, but small ball is what wins baseball games.
Right.
Getting on base is what means good.
Right.
Since Edgar's taken over, we've increased our walks, we've increased our singles, we've increased our doubles, we've decreased our amount of strikeout. All we need now is to solidify that back end of a pitching rotation. Now, when we're bringing in pitchers with 2-run lead, you can't be giving up 2-run boom shots.
Right.
And that seems to be the downfall right now. We've overutilized our bullpen so much over the year. They're just not the solid bullpen that they were April, May, June, even into July. And that's what's killing us. But we're turning it around. We still have a shot. We got the wild card and the West.
Right.
That's all going to come down to the next couple of weeks. How we continue to play. As long as you continue to play like we have the last 4 or 5 games, I think we'll take it.
Okay. Cool. I got a question, something I want to chime in on, but I haven't. I just got to give my take. We have now the transfer portal, and we have the NIL deals, and all that.
NIL is ruined college baseball.
Well,
It's college sports in general.
that's interesting because I totally hate the transfer portal. I hate it. I used to always feel bad for quarterbacks. Go back to the Huskies back in '91 when you had Mark Brunell, Billy Joe, splitting time. But sometimes there was a quarterback that's, back when quarterbacks used to stay in college so long. So with the quarterback situation, sometimes you can be in a raw deal because only one quarterback plays.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to all these other positions where there's multiple linebackers, multiple defensive backs, and people wanting to leave just because they don't want to deal with competition. They don't want to deal with they don't want to endure or get through and grind. You know what I mean? I think Ed Reed talked about it before. He said, back when I played, or was not Ed Reed, one of the linebackers for the Raiders. I can't think of his name right now. He had a commercial, and he said that when you used back in the day when you were on the bench, you played yourself onto the field.
Well, yeah, that's how you make the team.
Exactly, you play well on the field. But now the transfer portal has opened the door for any type of athlete that's not feeling it at the moment can leave. And now you're paying players, and this is the argument. If you want, they're making all this money for the institution. Yes, they're getting an education, but they're not getting, the money that's due to them. because they're making so much money with it. But my take is this: it just clutters everything. And what I mean by clutters everything, people coach college because they want to coach uh, non-pros. They don't want to deal with contract and money and the ego and the pride that comes with that. So they coach those sports, high school and college. But now you got to treat college as pros now. And for the fan, if I give my take on the fan, it ruins it. Now, I used to love watching a program that wasn't as good. Get some good recruits in, watch them build up, and then have a great junior and senior year.
Gonzaga.
Yeah, so Gonzaga.
Underdog for years, and all of a sudden came out of nowhere.
Exactly.
Xavier went the same way in
Exactly.
NCAA basketball.
Exactly.
Xavier came out of nowhere. Now we're top 10 squad.
Yeah.
So
what's your take? I know
the transfer portal, I agree with it to an extent. Because if you're in a situation where you are, we'll use your quarterback position here, and you are just as good as the starting quarterback, but you're not getting any play time.
Right.
And you've got this college over here that says, we need a quarterback here. You should be able to. But there needs to be stipulations. You can't just say, I don't like it here, put me in the transfer portal and hope somebody picks you. Because you can put your name in the transfer portal all you want. If no college selection, you're still stuck where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a choice. Your scholarship stays where you're at or you drop. So there's good things, there's pros and cons to the transfer portal. I think we need to make some modifications to make it more effective.
Right.
Because, yes, like you said, you're a backup quarterback. If you're sitting on the bench, our era, we're sitting on the bench. What do? You work hard. You don't sit on the bench.
You get after it. Yeah.
You got to go participation trophies.
Yeah. That's where it started.
Okay. Now on that whole NIL thing, I disagree with a major portion of it. College athletes do not need to be making millions of dollars.
Okay.
Yes, I understand that they have a right to make money off of their own name and likeness.
Right.
And that I get.
Right.
But when a college sells jerseys or memorabilia for the team, they're not selling that jersey because your name is there. They're selling that jersey because people that want to buy that jersey. You don't need any of that. Yes, you're helping to promote the team by playing for the team. You don't need anything. Now, on the other hand, the NIL is good because now Nike can go out and draft this college player and can sign them to a sponsorship. That money belongs to you. If you earned that, the college does not need to do that. In the old days, if Nike wanted to sponsor that student, the college got that goal. I don't care. College has alumni get their own damn money.
There you go.
You got
there you go.
in the memorabilia. That's how you get your money. You do not need. I bring Nike into the table. No, you do not get my Nike money. I don't care.
There you go.
So we need to make changes to that whole thing too.
Absolutely.
We also need to make changes. College players need to stay in college and play longer than just 1 year just so they can go to pro. Because some of these players thinking they're great and dang.
I'm gonna switch gears here and get some engagement right here. Let me see. Andre Graham asked a question. He says, let's see our question. He says, are we seeing the end of the career of Seahawks legend Tyler Lockett? Good question. You want to talk about that first?
After reading some of Tyler's posts, I don't think he's ready to be done. I think he's at the point now where he's got to find a system that's going to utilize him the way Russell did. Because he was the number one.
Yeah, he was his go-to.
And until he either comes to terms that he's no longer a number one, he is a number two, which I love Lockett. I think he's a great guy, but he's lost that number two. He'll be here for another one. I don't think it's the end of his career. I just think he's at the point where he feels he needs to move off. And if he does, he does. But I think it's still going to be him and DK. They're still going to be the ones who they're going to be 1-2 longer than the Seahawks. And Tyler's outlook is I'm better than what I'm seeing. And I agree. Tyler is a lot better than I'm seeing, but he's lost his temperatures. And I think that's where everybody's starting to see he's coming to the end of his career. Because he used to be a fast guy. He'd get off the line and he'd be wide open out in the backfield.
Right.
But he's not that way no more. Safeties are all over. If he were, like DK's height, that wouldn't be an issue. DK can go up and he's towering over anybody. But Tyler, he just doesn't have to. I do love him, but I think he's going to be a number 2 solid wherever he goes. Okay.
I'm not sure if I visually see the lost depth like you see. I just see an offensive line, and I just see just not the same, or maybe the same commitment to giving the ball like it was in there. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not saying that he said he hasn't, but I guess I'm not sure.
I think it's too early.
It's. We're going to find out this year. Like I said, we're going to find out this year. Jackson Smith and Jigga seems like a favorite target right now. And he's a lot faster than, I know it's a little bit off the grid a little bit. He's a lot faster than his 40 time in the combine shows. But I think, it's hard for me to say. I just got to see how he fits into Grubb's offense and to see how it is. Because I would say, honestly say, I do not know. I would say, I do not know.
Like I said, it's going to come down to how this year goes.
Yeah.
Because if he gets targeted to where he still puts up the numbers that he has been, I think he stays.
Right.
But if he starts seeing a drop in targets, drop in yardage, drop in touchdown, guarantee he wants to go.
Well, yeah, it's what's going to happen because, like I said, Jackson Smith is the new number 2. Well, he can actually, the argument is he can actually be a number 1 wide receiver. His knock has always been his speed, but I'm looking at preseason and I'm seeing him below past people. So we'll see. A lot of receivers
used to do that too.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So we're going to see because you also have the multiple tight end sets that Seattle likes to run. They want to run the ball, so it's going to be almost impossible to get 3 receivers 1,000 yards. Not to say they shot. Well, no, that's a little bit unrealistic. But if they do, we'll be in the Super Bowl, that's for sure. So let's see what other questions we have on here. He agreed, the portal is terrible because there is no limits to the transfer. And I'm not sure what she's disagreeing on, since he disagrees.
Yeah, Andre, what do you disagree on?
You're talking more specific things. We've been talking a lot of stuff, so we'll leave that one alone. Yes. So in the meantime, this is our time for getting ready for our first little break here. If you have any questions right here before we go to break, we will be back in about 10 to 15 minutes. Where's Teresa at? Teresa? Are you in the building? Oh, Teresa. We'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes, and we will conclude Northwest Sports Talk206. Keys are down.
I do.
Oh, no. There you are.
Pick it up.
What is your delivered now? Just everyone Amazon pick up order some whatever it is. Anything. So I ordered delivery for shipping out. Get a photo organization right in box everything here. What got it.
I got shots. Yeah, like smartly. We can't do all the time. Bring up too much more. I'm trying to get them in instruction. It came with instruction. Don't ever order this. My broadcast function.
It looks amazing in the background. It looks amazing. I'll keep it that way.
I got packages. It's mail day.
Yeah, exactly.
I got cards that have one, free.
Okay. It's actually zero. I want to get there. Such a getting a drink. Watch some of those years. Okay.
Yep, just wait for that one.
Sorry, I'm married friend. I'm still not married friend.
Oops. My big fat head's in the way. Check it out, right? It's not like this. You can open like as a bring out the studies. Most Mexico with the person you have good face. That's since we've been changing out games, getting each other better. That's great. Yeah, fun. Right. Cool. Sure, enjoying. Let's not give too much. Thanks. I don't know. That's all much. Oh.
So here's 12 hours of free. So I don't know I don't know how often you have to put quarters in one in one of these states. It's going to be going from $50 per student. Yeah, they still couldn't have the station. They're so expensive.
So it seems like
It's not fair to people even die. That's what you need. I mean, something probably you also see it's 180.
YouTube is really useful.
they're always posting it posted the Instagram, but that's good.
Which one is that?
It's all about yeah.
That's under yours.
Yeah, maybe I didn't edit. Maybe I can do that.
Yeah, here you
I
go.
might be able to do that on here.
There. Save it. What do you want to put in instead?
Really nothing. Let me just take this off.
You check the other ones too.
I Yes.
Oh,
So the video ended.
Yeah. Yeah. We had like